Welcome to a new Draw My Life video.
The golem is a living creature from the Jewish mythology, a being made of inanimate matter with the shape of a human being. A mystic power gives life to it so it can act following his orders. Its name comes from the Psalms in the Old Testament, where the word golem means unformed material, the human being that hasn't been completely shaped yet. Its story has some parallelism with the figure of Adam, who according to the Bible was also created out of mud by God. God created him in his own image and gave him life. In this case, there are different ways of giving a golem life, according to different stories. In some of them, people talk about a mystic ritual where the letters of the Hebrew alphabet are used to form a Shem, any one of the names of God. This Shem is written on a piece of paper and inserted in the mouth or in the forehead of the golem. Other legends say, in order to wake the golem up, you must write the word emet on their forehead, which means truth in Hebrew. In order to deactivate the golem, one would only need to remove the first letter of the word and leave it as met, meaning death in Hebrew. The oldest story about golems goes back to the 17th century in Poland, and it's supposed to have taken place a century earlier with the rabbi of Chelm as the protagonist, the principal religious authority in this city located in the east of the country. He made a creature out of dust and gave it life with a sacred word, so it would work on the most difficult tasks. But this creature kept growing and growing until the rabbi feared for his own safety and that of his fellow men. So he decided to take its life away. The golem resisted wildly, hurting the rabbi, but in the end, the rabbi was able to remove the sacred word from its forehead, turning it into dust again. The most famous legend and the one that shaped the myth was that of the Golem of Prague, which takes place at the end of the 16th century in the Czech capital. The rabbi there, known as the Maharal of Prague, created a golem out of clay from the banks of the Vltava river and gave it life through Hebrew rituals in order to defend his people. Back then, Jews lived all together in the ghetto, the neighborhood where they had been isolated following Rudolf II instructions, the sacred Roman Emperor and Archduke of the Austrian Empire. They suffered continuous hunts, some of them being even exiled or murdered. The golem would be in charge of protecting them from those attacks and keeping peace in the ghetto. People said it could turn invisible and even invoke spirits. However, it was slow and clumsy when it came to moving and not very intelligent. One time, the rabbi's wife asked the golem to go take water from the river, and he took it literally. He went to the river and started taking water from it non-stop until the city was almost flooded. It couldn't speak either, so neither transmit feelings, only obey and follow orders. Every Friday afternoon, the rabbi erased the sacred word from the forehead of the golem so it could rest on Saturday, sacred day for Jews during which they can't work. But one of those Fridays, the rabbi forgot about it, and the golem desecrated the tradition. When the rabbi went to it to take its life away, the golem resisted, provoking the chaos. A different version says that one day the golem fell in love with a woman, and when it was rejected, it turned into a violent beast, giving free rein to its murder instinct. Both versions end with the rabbi confronting the creature in front of the synagogue. In the end, he immobilizes it and extracts from its mouth the note with the sacred word, and the body of the golem was destroyed in pieces. These pieces were stored in the attic of the synagogue with no access to the public, and where they could be collected in case they needed to wake it up again. Truth is, the attic of the Synagogue of Prague was completely remodeled in 1883, and according to official sources, there was no trace of the remains of the golem. Some people say they were stolen and hidden in the cemetery of the Žižkov neighborhood, where there is a TV tower nowadays. Some others say they were recovered from the attic by a Nazi agent during World War II, and their location now is unknown. But the agent was found dead. He had been stabbed. The legend of the Golem of Prague was spread throughout the centuries, becoming a symbol for the city. If we walk around the old town, we will find lots of different figurines representing golems in the souvenir stores. By mid-19th century, some authors, Germans most of them, started capturing the legend of the golem in literature. making it famous worldwide. Since then, apart from novels, there has been several cinematographic adaptations, the first of them during the times of silent films. The Golem has also appeared as a character in several comics, like DC's Ragman or Marvel's Strange Tales. It has its own Treehouse of Horror episode in The Simpsons. It is one of the most common roles in the famous board game Dungeons & Dragons. And it has even named a Pokemon, though its appearance is more similar to that of a Golurk. Right now, in Hebrew, the word golem is used to call somebody fool or airhead. But really, the golem, even though it's a stoned colossus, it's simply a creature victim of the ambitions of its creator.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!